It's going. I'm waiting. What is happening, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy, C Dub, and I'm here live. So, I got a great little conversation to have with you guys today about Jason Fung and something he just did. And I'm going to be answering your questions. I am excited to get started. JC, what is happening? Good evening, my weight loss warrior brother. And what is happening, John? Thanks for you guys joining me. I see 7 already trickling in. As you guys trickle in, like I said, Jason Fung talk in a couple of seconds. Not only do we got that, but I'm going to be hitting your questions up. I am going to pull my phone out because I got 2 or 3 questions previous to it. I'm going to hop on that. And JC, man, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, sister. It's good for you to be here, though. I appreciate you. Juliet, it's so nice to see you. So I'm going to hit those questions up real quick. I know I just had one pop up on Instagram just seconds ago, and I want to hit that one up first. I want to make sure I remind you guys to smash that like button, because the more you that hit it, the more my video gets pushed out to more people, and the more people, I can help. So I appreciate you guys, everybody that hits the like. What's happening, Ms. Lafayette? Thank you for joining me today. And then remember, Super Chat is available. If you feel like doing it, you don't feel obligated to do it. I got your back no matter what. So with that saying, I got a little bit of lag. Hold on here. Let me get rid of that. And then I want to make sure you guys, the conversation we're going to have about Jason Fung tonight is going to be fun. It'll be interesting to hear you guys' thoughts about it. But the first question that I got is, does the timing of day that you eat your meal matter? And it's from Raymond, and Raymond said he's struggling to do OMAD at dinner, but he found that it works better for him at lunch. He's feeling better, and he doesn't have the urge to eat outside of his one meal. So I'm sure you guys can guess already. Then I'm going to say, dude, Raymond, my man, eat your lunch. Just that easy. Do what works for you, man. And just because I'm eating dinner doesn't mean you can't have breakfast. You can't have dinner. You can't have whatever you want to have. What is happening? Hey, thanks for joining us today. So, it's just a matter of fitting in what you want to do and making it work. And if you feel like you can eat breakfast and then fast for the rest of the day and be fine, if you feel like you can eat lunch and you're not hungry at dinner through the night, then you're good to go. You're golden. So you just have to figure out what works. I would say that if you do have a window and you are getting hungry outside of it, it may be time to adjust it, especially if you've been doing it for a long time. So you just switched to OMAD lunch a couple of days ago. If it's working, do it. I got no beef about it. The only thing with timing that there is there's very teeny itty bitty science that says that breakfast could be better because you're able to start your day with some of the glucose type sugar energy and then fade it into it. But a lot of people that eat breakfast get hungry after they eat breakfast. And for me, I just think that's not worth it. I actually, real quick, a little bit of a life advice. One of my coworkers has been doing intermittent fasting, and today when I came to work, they had bagels from Pandera bread, and they had those big cinnamon, nice, delicious, like probably 800 calorie bagels, all of it. And they had the works up in there for all the teachers and staff. And when I was going through the break room, she was standing there with a bagel, and she's supposed to be, doing intermittent fasting. So she's like, "Coach, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, I just couldn't pass the bagels. And she said, "I don't know what to do. This is just, they're so good. And I had to have them." And I said, "Well, your window's 8, right?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, so you started at 7 today. So let's count it out. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. I said, "Just have your dinner, at 3. And she said, "Am I going to be okay if I do that?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Just adjust your window. Eat with your coworkers." She had 2 or 3 other ladies there with her. I said, "Just go ahead and eat with them and just cut it a little short tonight." And she was like, "Wow, I never thought of that." It's really that easy. And I mean, that she's doing a 16 and 8, of course, so whether it's 16 and 8 or OMAD or whatever you're doing, you can always move your window if you have to. Don't feel obligated. And if you did fall off because there was a break room, delicious bagels there, the next day, just go back to doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we're going to have those weird days where something's going in and you got to kind of adjust. And, I know people look at me and I don't adjust, and I'm really strict. I mean, I do adjust my time, but I've never not eaten one meal since I started. But just because that's the way that my brain works, I'm all or nothing. I've always been all or nothing. Doesn't mean you have to be all or nothing, but you need to be all 99% of the time. So that's just my advice to you. You want to try to be all in as much as possible. So catching up with the chat, I think I'm good there. Good to see you, Eric. Man, hopefully you do. If you got other questions, Eric, go ahead and drop them. Now I got to open up my community tab because I had, I think, 2 questions there. I wanted to make sure I hit both of those up. And then I'm going to hop into Jason Fung stuff, and you guys can start dropping your questions, and I'll definitely hit them. No problem at all. So the questions that I got previous to the thing was, if you reach your weight loss goal, what should you do? I really want to know. Thanks. And so that's a question that I was hoping that I kind of addressed in the last video I did. Hey, what's going on, man? It's good to see you there, Dark. Good to see you, buddy. And hey, Rose, it's nice to see you too. You guys are the best. Make sure everybody's hitting that like button. But to answer the question on that, I was hoping I answered that in the last video. You can't look at intermittent fasting as a diet because diets mean temporary. And so if you're going into something for a temporary use, you have to come out on the other end a completely different person in order for it to work out. And that is not an easy thing to do. So in other words, let's say you decided today that you're going to do OMAD until you lose 150 pounds. So 150 pounds are gone now. So then what is the plan? Are you going to then count calories, eat 3 times a day, and make sure you're staying under your TDEE and getting your exercise, and then eating all healthy and cutting out all junk food and maintaining the perfect life the way that, you know, a nutritionist would set you up to do? If that's your end goal, then yeah, you can go back to eating 3 meals a day. That's fine. I think that, but realistically, you tried that before and you failed because you went to intermittent fasting. So to me, you have to do this forever for it to work. Now, again, that doesn't mean, let's say you do keto and you do OMAD and you drop 150 pounds, and then you say, you know what, I want to get rid of keto and I want to stay to OMAD, but I'm going to eat keto-ish most of the time. But if I want to have some bread, I'm going to have some bread once in a while, or pizza. If you did that, you're probably gaining a little bit of weight back, not much, and you'll be good to go from there. You might only have lost 140, not 150 pounds, something like that. So you can switch it a little bit. You could go from OMAD to Warrior once you've lost your weight, and you probably can maintain there. You could do OMAD 5 days a week and probably eat regular twice, but you still have to do a great deal of fasting forever. And it's just one of those things where if most of the time when you ask that question, you're new into it. So you're kind of, you're wanting out because it's painful and it hurts. But I think once you get used to it, it becomes just something you don't want to quit. And that's going to be the number one thing that I stress to you is, as you go through the process of intermittent fasting, you're going to learn to love it. I think I did. There's no other way that I want to be. I can't think of another way to eat anymore because I feel so good this way. And so I think that in the process of you going through this, you're going to get used to it, and then you're going to want to be on the bandwagon. And like I said, it may not be OMAD. You might switch to a Warrior. You might switch even to a 16 and 8 and be smart with 2 meals. But remember, I'm an advocate for saying 16 and 8 is 2 meals. It's not meal, snack, meal. It's 2 meals. And you guys have got to get into the mindset of cutting the snacking out of your life. That's number one. See, we moved up to 24. Let's hit those thumbs up. I'm going to catch up in the chat, then answer my next question. Then we're going to hop into Jason Fung. So hopefully everybody's killing it tonight. It's 2 p.m. here. All right, man, you're busy at work, huh? What is happening? You don't know if you'll do OMAD forever, but you might do a 16 and 8 after your OMAD journey. And I think that's fine. The only thing with the 16 and 8 from OMAD to 16 and 8, you've got to remember that you can't have as big a meal twice as you had in OMAD and maintenance. You have to split what you would have eaten in OMAD up into 2 meals. And then the 16 and 8 will be fine. You'll be good to go. Okay. Chubby Cop, he said, I know you have said that you will always do OMAD, but I'm curious, do you know people that have got to their weight goal and switched to 2MAD and still maintained it just fine? To be honest with you, Chubby, I don't, but that doesn't mean they haven't. And I think that that's an important thing to know. I also think that there's something to be said you know you can do OMAD, right? If you're doing OMAD day in and day out, day in and day out, right? You know you can do it. So there's something to be said to say, you know what? I'm going to go OMAD Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to go 16 and 8. But again, in my 16 and 8, I'm going to split that meal to what I would have eaten at OMAD and split it into two. And I think that that's something you have to get used to, because now you're used to eating a big meal and you're going to now be eating half the size of that and going to two meals. And so that's a little bit tricky and can be hard for some people. So you can switch off. I'm not saying you're doomed to OMAD the rest of your life, but I am saying that you've got to have a real good plan. And that doesn't mean you can't play with it too. Let me just say that. You can go 16 and 8 and just kind of go and then watch your weight. And then if you see it creep up 5 pounds, you know what you need to do. Get back on the OMAD, do your different stuff. You know, you can always factor in 2 OMADs a week or 3 OMADs a week. I know I've mentioned it before. My dad was doing OMAD. He got to his goal and kept losing and was like, I'm done. And he started eating twice a week, full days of eating. And then he does OMAD the rest, and he's been able to maintain there. So I guess that's one person that switched up a little bit of his eating. And Kayla Cox does the 1 meal a day. I mean, the 1 day a week where she eats whatever she wants. I think that's a nice compromise too. But for me, I'm an OMAD warrior. So hopefully that answers that question. Okay. You've done a video on losing the last 10 or 20 pounds and hitting a plateau. Have you done a video? I've done plateau videos before. I don't know if I've specifically said, here's some ways to do your last 10 pounds. And JC, I think that's a great video topic. I'm going to write it down because I think I do want to do a video on that. You know, maybe like a top 5 ways to lose your last 10 pounds, because they're the hardest 10. Let's see. How about top 10 ways? Top 5, probably top 5 ways to lose the last 10. That is a great topic. I look forward to putting something together for that. I think it's definitely a great topic. And I do have plateau videos. If you go back on the channel, there are a few good, solid plateau videos from way back in the beginning. You're going to have to scroll back some. A lot of people don't realize I have over 130 videos. Some of you guys are newer to the channel and you've only seen, you know, the last 40 or 30 or so. If you go way back on my channel, I got some good content. Another video I'm planning on doing is a video remake of when I was fat and talking to the camera, and then now talking about me talking to the camera. I think that'd be really cool to see me in both ways, what my mindset is today versus then. All right, Julie, you plan on staying on OMAD with an occasional spur day? That is what a good idea is right there. Stay on OMAD, occasionally spur. Tony, OMAD keto for 7 months and carnivore for 3, down 120 pounds in the last 10 months. Man, you know, first of all, if I am your hero, that's awesome, because 120 pounds, you're doing awesome too, brother. You know, I can't say anything, but I'm proud of you. Turn it up for Tony in the chat, man. 120 pounds. That is amazing. And that, you know, nobody can ever sleep on the fact that you lost 125 pounds. That is an unbelievable task. Congratulations, my friend. You lost 14 in the last 2 weeks, and that's awesome. You did a prolonged fast for about 32 hours, you know, in addition to your warrior. Yeah, no, throwing a long fast in there like that every once in a while is a great idea. Not only do you guys, I don't know if you realize, but autophagy takes a little more time than a lot of people think. And so you need that 24-hour mark most of the time. So 24-hour, throwing a 24-hour fast or longer in there, get you some autophagy too, which also may potentially shrink skin. There isn't total research done on that, but it may. So, you know, 16-8, but watching your calories, I think that's a good plan. 16-8 and watching your calories is a good plan. And Zeb is killing it. John and Zeb together, both of y'all are killing it, man. Making videos now. I'm proud of both of you guys. Hey, just a second, 1 second ago, I'm going to be answering your question. So thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. It's nighttime here, but good morning to you. But I got your question coming up next when I catch back up with the chat. So, you know, you're killing it. And Miss Lafayette right there, look at that, down 40 pounds in 2.5 months. Turn it up for her too, guys. That's amazing. 40 pounds in you said 2.5 months, man. That's more than killing it. You guys are doing an amazing job, So, we had the question from I don't want to mess up your name, but Frizo over there wanted to know and asked previously, and he's all the way in the morning, guys. He's like 5 in the morning right now for him. So turn it up for him for turning on the channel. I believe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's coming from India. So that's mind blowing. But his question was, can you get abs from eating OMAD? And so the answer to that, a lot of people really don't understand this because we've been sold it wrong from the fitness industry. This is coming from a guy that doesn't have abs, keep that in mind. But we've been sold from the fitness industry that you've got to do all these crunch ups and we've got to do all this core work and all this stuff. But realistically, your body burns fat based upon where it feels like doing it. In the general range for a male is something like 18 to 16 or lower percent will start to define a stomach. And when they get down around 12, the abs will come completely in. And that's no matter what. We all have abs. They're all there. Your ab muscles are there. You can flex them, get punched in the stomach. You can feel them flex. Your ab muscles are there. Problem is there's fat over top of them. So, of course, just by losing weight and never doing a crunch, you will eventually get abs if you lose enough weight. And so, what can you do to increase that? Obviously, eating less and working out more. And as it goes down, OMAD will absolutely get you to abs if you put the work in. Now, if you just eat one meal and you never count a calorie and you never do any of that, could you get abs? Yes, but you're more likely to if you're paying attention to your workout program, you're paying attention to your calorie intake and all of those kind of things as well. And I think all of that combined can eventually get you, what you're talking about. So there's that. Hopefully that answered your question. Everybody turn it up for her. Good job. Miss Lafayette again, 40 pounds. You think 20 pounds is your goal weight at 190? Hey, look, Tony, you can get 190, no doubt. How tall are you, Tony? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that would be a total of, you said you already lost 120, so that's a total of 140 pounds. That's knocking it out the park, my friend. So you got it. Can you briefly talk about the exercise routine when you first started? Eric, yes, I can. You know what it was? Nothing. That's what I did when I first started. And I'm being completely honest with you, Eric. I didn't do a single thing. I've had 3 knee replacements, and I was in so much pain when I started doing this that it was hard for me to get out of bed. So I did not start walking. Just so you guys understand this, I didn't start exercising, which I consider exercising my walking. I didn't start walking until November of last year. So I'm actually working. I'm less than a month away, November 1st. Actually, in all fairness, November 1st was the first day that I walked 10,000 steps, probably since I hurt my knee. And so November 1st of last year. So I'm approaching 1 year of walking 10,000 or more steps a day. And anybody that really knows and watches the channel, it's about 15 now. But I started at 10 and I started November 1st. This year on November 1st, you guys tell me what you think. I think I'm going to hit up push-ups, and I'm going to do as many push-ups as I possibly can every single day. So if that's, 25 on the first day in a row without stopping, then I'm going to stop at 25 and then move on to the next day. And then I'm going to see what 365 days of doing as many push-ups as I could gets me at the end, how many I can do, how it changes my body. So that'll be my next year's challenge and continuing to walk. And then I started lifting weights in March. So my exercise routine was not very much at all in the beginning, at all. So hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, abs are there. They're just padded. 46 pounds in 4 months. Congratulations, Tabby baby. Good job. You did great. India is pronounced. Oh, okay. It's pronounced free rows. Fee. Man, see, my reading and stuff ain't the best, man. Fee rows, I guess. See if that was good enough for you, man. It's difficult. I thought that, the exercising, man, it's just, it's very difficult, I think, when you first start. And I think it depends on how overweight you are, Eric. I don't know you personally and what your story is. You can let me know some more information in the bottom. But if you're morbidly obese, I suggest just getting to OMAD. You can get your window to OMAD. That's step 1. Then step 2 from there would be worrying about exercising once you're feeling better. So, that would be a huge help. Jace, oh, there she is. I was like, I don't see her, but yeah. Hi, OMAD Caroline. It's good to see you. It's good to see you guys. So OMAD, you ate once 7 days at 7 p.m. That's good stuff. Okay, so now let me talk to you guys about my topic that I want to discuss today. We got 26 going strong, so that's good. It's a good time to break this topic out. If you want to throw a question down, go ahead and throw it down. Let me see if I can get Miss Lafayette real quick. Did you do any weight training during your workout? Did it help with loose skin? Okay, I did lift, and I think it can help with loose skin. If there's a little bit of loose skin, the more you're lifting, obviously you're putting muscle where the skin is, so it can help with loose skin. It's not going to totally fix loose skin, especially around the waist and the thighs, but it could, like arms and that kind of stuff. And I did strength training and resistance training. I think it's a great way to burn fat, great way to get through a plateau too, is to add weight training, because your rebuilding muscles takes an incredible amount of energy, and that energy is used from calories. And if you're not putting all the calories there, it's going to come from your body fat. So you can use, now a lot of fitness people will lie to you or not misunderstand. I shouldn't say they lie, but they misunderstand. You absolutely positively can build muscle through burning your body fat. You can do both at the same time. It's been proven over and over and over again, although they want to ignore that. You can build muscle and lose body fat at the same time. Now, the scale doesn't move as much, but your size starts to change, and you absolutely can do both at the same time. So strength training can help you on your routine. It's cool that you got your grandbaby with you. She's got the cutest grandchild ever, I'll tell you what. So Dr. Fung, guys. So this was interesting. I don't know if any of you saw it, but Dr. Fung just did a presentation in front of a board of medical people, and he was talking about not intermittent fasting like you would think. He was talking about financial corruption within the medical industry and how much of a tragedy this is and how this leads to obesity in our country. And I watched this thing from beginning to end. Took a couple notes here I want to talk about. Fascinating. So what I'm going to do at the end of this, it takes a while to upload. If this video goes over an hour, it's going to take forever to upload it. And so it won't be available immediately following the end of this live, but I will have it linked up by tomorrow morning. So if you come back tomorrow when you get up and you check out the description, I will have this video linked in the description of Dr. Fung. It's real recent talking to these medical professionals. And I have to take my hat off to him, because he calls out the entire medical industry right in front of him. And a lot of the statistics and things that he says are so fascinating. They're absolutely so fascinating. And it really, really begins to get you to understand why we have such an epidemic in our country. And that's something that's interesting. Real quick, since it was brought up over on the side there, water fasting versus dry fasting. Dry fasting does work faster than water fasting. If you go on a dry fast for 16 hours, you're going to burn more weight than a 16-hour water fast. Understand that the longer you dry fast, the riskier you are to death. So there's a balance there. You can't go too long. If you're going to go more than 16-ish hours on a dry fast, you're asking for trouble. Your body can shut down and things can happen. So does it work faster? Yes. Can you work it in where you're doing OMAD dry fast once a week on your OMAD day, and in that whole day you're dry fasting, then eating your OMAD meal? Yes, especially if you stay hydrated the day before and the day after. But just be careful dry fasting. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not too, I did it. I dry fasted during mine. I dry fasted on Thursday. So my OMAD day, I dry fasted just that one day. But understand, again, if you're feeling lightheaded, if you're getting sick, all that stuff, get water in you. Your body has to have water. So going without it pushes it into autophagy quicker. It pushes it into fat burning quicker, and it pushes it into trauma quicker. But on the other side of that, your body can react in a negative way too, or if you're giving it water, it generally won't. That's just a heads up. So back to Dr. Fung. So basically what Dr. Fung said in this was 95% of all medical doctors take benefits from big pharmacy. They take benefits from big pharmacy. They actually receive some kind of present from them. And what's interesting about that is it brings me back to my childhood. I talk about my dad on this channel a lot, My dad was a pharmacist, for a long time with the VA hospital, and then he worked at Ecker. And I remember many, 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 many times that pharmacy reps, pharmacy salesmen would take him out to dinner, to give him gifts. I can remember he used to go on a retreat with them and come home with bags full of pens and pencils and gadgets and yo-yos and all kinds of cool toys. And he'd pour them out on the floor. My brother and I would run out there and we'd start farming through all of this medical stuff. But in talking to my dad, they don't target pharmacists as much as they've targeted doctors. And so these pharmacy reps go into, from all kinds of different, drug companies, into these doctors' offices all of the time, and they take them out to lunch, they take them out to dinner, they buy their wife's gifts or their husband's gifts, they treat these doctors like kings. And the doctors, here's what's crazy about it. So 95% of them accept that and go out with them and do these things with with these pharmacy reps. But this is the crazy thing. When they were polled, another 90 something percentage of them, I don't have it off the top of my head right now, and I didn't write it down. They said that they didn't feel like because they went to dinner with them, that there was a conflict of interest. They did not feel in their heart like it mattered to their medical professional opinion. But the 95% that takes gifts have been proven to write 80 something percent more prescriptions than the 5% that doesn't. I'll let that wait there for a second. So you could sit there for a second and let that soak in for you guys, because we're live and you need that to soak in. You can't push pause right now. So I want you to understand that they don't think they're doing something wrong, but 80% more, they are writing a prescription for you to take a medicine. Not only that, but because now big pharmacy is allowed to run commercials on television, the patient feels, if he goes to a doctor and the doctor doesn't prescribe him anything, the patient feels like he wasn't looked after, like he was not cared for by the doctor. And that is an overwhelming response to the way that we have handled ourselves in the world today, because of the TV commercials and because of the way the doctors are held. So big pharmacy is spending money on you as an advertiser, might even run an ad before this YouTube video. And then they're spending money on the doctors to make sure that they're friends with them. But it doesn't even stop there. The higher the prestige of the doctor. So in other words, if this doctor is considered the leading heart doctor or the leading bone doctor or the leading whatever it is, eye doctor, yada, 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 you guys get the point. If he's considered to be top 10 in his field, right? It's been proven that they are getting exponentially more money from big pharmacy than anyone else. So who is teaching the younger doctors are the leading experts in their field. So if you take a guy that is the leading expert in heart disease and he is taking money from big pharmacy, he is now going to teach all the people underneath him that this drug company can really help the patients that they are seeing. And with statins and things like that, he talks about that in the interview too. With the statins and things, he basically, thank you so much, JC. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Thank you so much for donating. You are awesome. Love you. He is now taking that donation and teaching these kids to use that drug. And the statin thing, guys, it's been proven. They did a couple of studies in Canada and everything else that the people taking statins and the people not had no difference in heart attacks. It was like less than 1%, but they're forcing those drugs on everyone because big pharmacy's paying the lead doctor to teach indirectly or directly. You can say that, oh, well, not every big doctor, but if he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars from big pharmacy, he is going to accidentally teach. And again, it got proven he's going to accidentally teach that that's okay to the doctors underneath him, which are going to learn it and teach it and so forth and so on down the line. You want to talk about You said, I think this is okay. Yeah, Dr. Fung definitely follows the keto diet, by the way. But let me get back to what I was trying to say. So and I don't have anything wrong against the keto diet. Keto diet's fine. But also, well, we can get into that in a minute anyways. But moving back to the big farm. So when you're talking about how that trickle down affects a huge amount of people. Not only that, but big pharmacy has almost every single big pharmacy company has more than one doctor in their leading field on their board of directors. That's not a conflict of interest. So you are selling blood pressure medicine to people, and you are on the board of the blood pressure company. Almost every single one of them. They range in salaries from $250,000 to sit on the board to multi-million-dollar contracts to sit on the board of directors of these pharmacies. And Dr. Fung gets on this video. I'm telling you, I'm going to have it attached below, guys. You guys are going to love watching this video tomorrow. It's like a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes long, but it is amazing. You are going to trip out watching him call these people out. It is unbelievably awesome to see him sit there and do that. I got more respect than you guys could ever imagine for him. But so not only that, but the FDA, the people that are supposed to be watching out for you and deciding whether this drug or that drug should be used by the American people or by the people. Let's face it, when America says it's okay, other countries do too. I watched a thing in South Africa where the South African people were following the Americans' diet plans. And I mean, it's just unbelievable the influence that America has and that they're lying for profit. And so ultimately speaking, big pharmacy, actually the people that are the FDA, so the FDA is looking at these drugs, right? So the FDA is saying this drug is okay and this one's not. The people that represent and promote this to the FDA, they go to them and say, this is a drug you need to consider, and these are the reasons why you should consider this powerful, great drug that's going to help our people. Most every one of them sits on the board of what they're representing. So the doctor sits on the board of the drug he's talking to the FDA about. The FDA doesn't stop it. Then, of course, they're going to say, you know what? This guy knows what he's talking about. He's the leading doctor in this field. Pass it on through. And so because you are in a situation that allows that, it's just madness. And he uses one example on here. I could not do this video and not talk about this one example because it just absolutely blows my mind, guys. If you're digging this, hit that like button if you haven't done so already, because this is good stuff, man. I don't know how YouTube's going to react to, thanks, love my shirt too, Pokemon people. I don't know how YouTube's going to react to me talking about big pharmacy. They may not like it. So who knows how, I could see them not monetizing this one or whatever the case is, but you guys needed to know. And this is good stuff. So there's this guy. His name is John L. Stephen Piper. So he is a professor at the University of Toronto, which is actually the city that Dr. Fung practices in. So this guy is a college professor with a medical doctorate, right? So I want you to follow that. He's a college professor, so he's teaching students. He has a group of doctors underneath him or training to be doctors. He has a group of students underneath him that are learning to be doctors at the University of Toronto. He practices medicine. He made a comment to the FDA and other places that fructose should be considered a health food. If you don't know what fructose is, it's man-made sugar. Worse than sugar, sugar is bad for you. Man-made sugar is awful for you. And fructose corn syrup is literally the number one reason we have diabetes and obesity today. It is absolutely killing us. And he says it's a health food. And he says that we should eat more of it and that we are not doing enough studies on the benefits of fructose corn syrup. So You're like, what? What? Come on, C-Dub, you're pulling my chain. Guys, I'm not. Guess what board? And I'll give you a couple minutes. I'll look at the chat for a second. Guess what board? Anybody throw up down there in the comments what board you think he sits on. It's not pharmacy. I'll give you a hint. Who is he sitting with and who is paying him? Think about that for half a second. If you can come up with a good answer, throw it in the comments. We got a lot of people hopping in now. DB, good to see you. Sorry I've been on such a talk about Dr. Fung because it's just absolutely amazing that he did that. It's good to see you. 100 pounds to life. You're back, Caroline. You've got to hear what I just said, Caroline, about all of this Dr. Fung stuff. I hope you got a chance to hear some of it. I'm sorry you're feeling sick. I hope that I hope you're doing okay. Has anybody got any guesses on what it is, guys? What board he sits on? Because it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. And so okay. I'm just going to go flat out tell you. So the board that this guy sits on. So again, let me recap for a couple of people that just hopped in. This guy, John Stevens Piper, university professor of the University of Toronto, and teaches medical students and also is a practicing doctor, said that we need more fructose in our diets and that it's a health food and that there's not enough studies being done saying the positives of fructose. Okay? And he cited a couple studies. We'll talk about that in a second too. But anyways, long story short, Coca-Cola. He literally sits in the board at Coca-Cola. Not only that, but he received, I think they said he sat on the board at Coca-Cola. He received over $100,000 donation to the University of Toronto in his name from them. And he's received several payments from Coca-Cola. How do you do that? How are you a medical doctor receiving money from something that is literally killing us? And then not only is it killing us, but standing up and saying everybody knows. I mean, your grandma knows fructose is bad. Sugar is bad. I mean, overwhelmingly, we all know that especially man-made sugar, not sugar from fruits, not sugar, in that way, man-made sugar is bad, especially when it's processed in the way that fructose is processed. But this guy's willing to say it's healthy. And he's willing to fall down on his sword because his pockets are getting lined by Coca-Cola. And so that, my friends, is why everything you've got to rethink the way we think of the information we get from the medical industry. And Dr. Fung mentions on there, one of the things he said is, so the higher up the line you go in your medical, you're seeing medical people, that the higher person you go to, the more corrupt they are. So your local doctor is maybe in that 5% that isn't taking money from pharmacy, but probably still is, but probably isn't intentionally being persuaded as much as some of the top people. But the crazy thing is 90-something% of people don't feel they're being corrupted. The 95% of the doctors don't feel that they are being corrupted. Okay, now the last thing I want to talk about in that video, and again, guys, I will have it linked up. I can't wait for you guys to see it and talk to me about it, maybe ask some questions. So much good information on Dr. Fung's video there. But we have sugar-funded study, or there was studies done. And I think this John guy used this as a reference, but there have been studies done where they've come forward and said, hey, listen, we did all these studies. We group a bunch of studies together, and we evaluate them. And this is the result of the studies. It says that there's no difference between eating sugar and not eating sugar, and that it's the exact same, and we're good to go. When you dive deeper into those sugar studies, and it's 83% of the studies that were shown to higher ups says that it's okay. Sugar is not that much difference. So it varies, and 17% said no, you're wrong. So there was a little bit, but when you look into it, all of the 17 that were looked at came from non-sugar funded studies. 100% of them came to the conclusion that sugar was bad. So when you took somebody that was not being paid and they ran a study on sugar, it came up that it wasn't a good thing for you. When the other group, which was funded by sugar, came, they came up overwhelmingly saying that there was no difference. So again, we can test things that we know won't show up. We can make results say whatever we want to say. And that's why you have to be cautious across the board from anybody that's sitting on the other side of you telling you anything, because the money behind them can be detrimental to the message that they are saying to you. And so, Dr. Fung amazingly called him out. And I know a lot of you have watched me say, hey, listen, when you're talking about Dr. Berg and you're talking about Dr. Fung, you're talking about people that are making their living 100% on you as an intermittent faster. And what they're saying, they're selling products to you. And that is 100% true. I am not diminishing that. And Dr. Fung doesn't talk about it in his presentation, but he's certainly selling his books. He's certainly selling his ideas. He's certainly selling all kinds of different things. But at the end of the day, what he is not selling, and what Dr. Berg is doing the same thing. Dr. Berg has his, you drink this shake and do this and do. Dr. Berg has a lot of products he's pushed over the last few years. You can dig back and find some stuff that even contradicts what he says today. I mean, Dr. Berg will sell stuff, but neither one of them are going to be taking money from big pharmacy. Neither one of them are going to be profiting from your illness. Both of them are trying to make you more healthy. So I 100% endorse both of them. Now, somebody mentioned earlier, hey, listen, you're talking, you don't do a keto. It was in the chat somewhere. You don't do keto, but Jason Fung promotes keto. Sure, Jason Fung promotes keto. But how many of you think if I sat down across from Jason Fung and said, hey, listen, I'm doing OMAD. This is what I'm eating, yeah, I might have some rice and some chicken and whatever else. But this is the kind of idea of what I'm eating. This is what I'm doing with my life. I've lost this much weight. How many people think he wouldn't stand up, reach across the table and shake my hand and say, you're doing amazing. Keep rolling. He 100% would. I'm 100% okay. And you can be too. He's proud of everybody that's trying to make a difference, whether they're on keto or whether they're not. He's just saying that he believes keto is a more powerful way of doing it. Doesn't necessarily mean, I've even, heard him say that keto science hasn't been fully developed yet. They're still in the process of working on it. So he doesn't even really know, but that's truly what he believes. I believe Dr. Berg deep down believes it too. That does not mean it's the only way. The common thing that we all have is that we all realize that what traditional medicine has been telling us for the last 50, 60, 70 years is nonsense, and that we have to start making a change for the better. So I'm way behind in the chat. Sorry, I got rambling a little bit. So let me roll back just a little bit here. If I'm rolling back a little, if I didn't go back far enough and you did have a question that I don't get to, drop it again. A lack of heart and money for hungry. Oh yeah, that's right. You heard of Dr. Fung say that. Dr. Fung is just a man, though. He really is. I'm so proud of him for standing in front of a group of his peers and saying that, hey, we're corrupt and we need to do something about it. I mean, who would do that? Who would walk in their job tomorrow and say, you know what, guys, all of you are full of crap? And I understand that he's in a position of power a lot. He makes a lot of money and a lot of people look up to him, so he can say it more than maybe you could to your boss. But it still takes a lot of courage. No matter what, it takes a lot of courage to do the video he just did in front of those people. And he just didn't throw it on the internet. He stood in front of his peers. And I can respect that. So that is why losing weight can be hard. It's filled with so much misinformation. It absolutely is filled with misinformation. Not only is losing weight filled with misinformation, but losing weight is also, how do you put this? It's not black and white. It's very much depends on the person, their attitude, their beliefs, their mindset at that time, and so many things factor into it. And that's why You almost have to play with it a little bit until you find your groove. And once you hit your groove, everything gets easy. That's my 2 cents at least. Um, some people want to put in the work and the research. Absolutely. You love my shirt too. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Rose. Man, maybe you guys don't know, but I absolutely am a Pokemon, advocate. And I know that may make me sound dorky, but it is a fun game, not just the little mobile thing, all of it. Everything Pokemon, my style. So sorry if you're hating, but that's me. I might even consider playing Pokemon on the internet one day. Who knows? I'm gonna keep doing this though. I'm gonna keep helping you guys out, but love Pokemon. Good stuff. All right. You think your husband's old doctor was getting money for prescription medicine? I'm sure. And if not, he at least was taking gifts from it. You think about it. If I'm taking you to dinner, that's just like giving you money. If you know I'm coming by once a week and taking you to dinner, and I have drug A, which you think is helpful, you may think drug B is more helpful for your client, and you may think C, no drug at all, might actually help them too. But the person wants a drug because they showed up there and pharmacy sold it to them on a commercial. And now you feel like you have to, and you're trying to choose between A and B. You're going to go with A because that guy takes you to dinner. And he's a good guy. He's not lying to you. He takes you to dinner. He talks about his wife with you. That guy is my G, man. Me and him, we go back. He's been doing it for 10 years. Come on, man. He's trying to help us out. It's just that easy. You don't even know you're corrupt. And that's the way it works. So the Obesity Code book talks about studies and you shouldn't trust. Absolutely. Most studies, you got to ask a lot of questions when you read a study. 1, who did the study? 2, who funded the study? 3, why was the study done? Did multiple people look at the results? There's a lot of things you got to look at. And what I always do is I try to look at the study and then come to my own conclusions and not read their summaries and their conclusions. I look at the raw data and develop my own opinion because their opinions can move the way you're thinking. And, the next thing you know, you're gone. Dr. Fung is golden, no doubt about it. Just like you, Caroline, you're golden too. You love the Obesity Code. Absolutely. He is the man. He would say, bravo, I lost my spot there. Okay. Is there a big problem with prolonged fasting? He is a big proponent of prolonged fasting. Look, I don't think prolonged fasting is a bad thing. My opinion with prolonged fasting is you basically, if you go into it with a plan, you go into it with medical supervision, you want to make sure your blood pressure is doing well. You want to make sure you have all your blood readings doing well. And if you do that for a long period of time, you are absolutely 100% going to lose weight. No doubt about it. It's impossible not to. It's just absolute nutter science. So if you do that, though, you got to keep in mind that when you stop fasting, you're going to gain a bunch back. Maybe not all, but 25 to 50% is going to come right back when you eat. And then you have to have a plan after that, or the other portion of that's going to come back quick. But it can't help. And autophagy, for no other reason than to do a long-term fast once in a while, 4 times a year, autophagy, down with it. No doubt about it. Dr. Fung says there's multiple plan in the Obesity Code, and diabetes keto is just one of those. Yeah, absolutely. And that's it. That's it. There's just one of those. And I think that we get so sold on the diet part and not the lifestyle part. No matter what style of eating you do, cut the diet out of it. No matter what style of eating you do, fasting can help you. It really doesn't matter. I mean, you of course you don't want to live on a Twinkie diet. I mean, you got to use your common sense. Of course you want to have some good protein. Of course you want fruits and vegetables. And if you kind of stick to that model, you're always going to be okay. It's common sense stuff. We all learned it in 3rd grade, and I know I'm telling you that a lot of what we get taught isn't right, but come on, man. Meats, vegetables, fruits, you're golden, Guys, 32 of you, 25 likes. Hit that like button. Come on, let's get that message out there. We need more peeps in here. All right. But he supports all intermittent. Absolutely. And I guarantee if I sat across from him, he would absolutely, and he would run my blood work and everything and tell me how great I'm doing. I need to go to his office. That's what I need to do. Maybe we should take a road trip to Canada and see him, man. I would love to sit down with him and talk, or maybe one day he would Skype with me. Who knows? The channel is growing. So I'm gaining more traction towards the larger YouTubers. Some of them have said some stuff. I just got a shout out from Autumn. I don't know if you guys saw that, but she did a whole video on OMAD, and she said, "Hey, look, one of my subscribers taking out fat with CW eats OMAD, and he's been doing it every day for over a year." And I was like, "Wow!" She just shouted me out for no reason, which was so awesome because she's a larger YouTuber, not Dr. Fung's level, but a larger YouTuber. So I do think I'm gaining traction. I'm getting noticed more. And the more I get noticed, the more things like Dr. Berg or Dr. Fung could reach out to me. I certainly can send them a message and say, hey, this is me, and see what they have to say. At some point, maybe one of those guys would like to sit down with me. That would be amazing. I definitely would love to bring it into the channel, All right, so moving down to Derek P. Good points. Doctors go to school for so long. One graduates into jobs, continue to do their education. I don't know. Most doctors aren't scientists. Well, in the doctors, a lot of times doctors don't go to school for nutrition and for that kind of stuff. They go to school for other things, but they're quick to give you nutrition advice. And then, of course, there's going to be some kind of medical bias depending on, all the reasons that I just listed. So it's very hard to just trust all of them for there. And Pokemon Go is a great game. You should try it again, DB. Download it. They've done some amazing things with it, but the main series is the way to go. Sword and Shield coming out in November. Cannot wait. Anyways, back to the topic everybody's here for, weight loss. So Dr. Kinberry, too, he does keto. He does some great videos. Yeah, absolutely. Not sure he talks about keto to lose weight. Okay. Yep, most doctors aren't experts. Absolutely. Think about that. You have a doctor and a pharmacist. The pharmacist went to school for drugs. The doctor went to school for what you're doing. And so, it's okay. Derek B. Hating on Pokemon. All right. Derek P. happens to be Ricky Pierce. Ricky Pierce, you're the man. You say I don't holler you out. Right there, Ricky Pierce, you're the man. So one of my heroes. So main goal is to be healthy. If you lose weight, that's good too. Absolutely. No, well, I don't think you realize that in the beginning when you first start intermittent fasting, and you're doing it for weight loss. Most of us, you're into it and you're like, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. And later you realize that it's more than losing weight, because even if I was a morbidly obese now, but I felt the way I do now, it would have been worth it because I feel so much better. And I think that that's something that we lose in translation when we talk about weight loss. We just want to lose weight. And it's really not about just losing weight. It's about so much more than losing weight. And so, that's just something that I think all of us go through a little bit. But getting healthy is 100% about that. So fasting and starving us, keto fuels weight loss. Okay. I think he'll come on your channel. I mean, eventually, yeah. It's very difficult. Somebody like Dr. Fung, just so that you guys kind of understand, he's still practicing. So he's got like all these patients that are coming to see him every day with life or death situations that he's trying to help. And then he's got that group of people. And then he's trying to promote himself on social media and spread the word. And then he's meeting with all these other doctors and trying to educate them. So he's super busy. And so, some guy just writes him a thing and says, hey, I'm 40 years old and I lost 125 pounds. I use intermittent fasting. Come talk to me on my YouTube channel. He's like, man, I am so daggone busy. But once you build momentum, everything changes. When you have 30,000 subscribers and you're putting 150 people in your lives and you're getting 300 thumbs ups every time you put out a video and you're building that kind of momentum, it's very noticeable. And so, and of course, I'll pop up in his feed because he's watching videos and doing those things too. And his clients are too. And they're going to come in there one day and he's going to have a client sit down and he's going to say, hey, you've done great. What have you been doing? He's going to say, I've been watching my boy C-Dub. And he's like, who the heck is that? And the guy's like, you haven't seen him? And that kind of thing will happen. I'm a firm believer. One other thing, you guys may think I'm crazy here, but the universe gives back what you give it. And I'm giving positive energy here. I'm helping. Eventually, I'm going to get it back. So a guy like that eventually will reach out to me, and we'll have a powwow, and we'll be able to move on and do some big things. But until that day, I'm just going to keep grinding, just like you guys are losing weight. I'm going to keep grinding, and more opportunities will be there. More people will reach out to me, and the more people that reach out to me, the bigger I can make this thing. And then ultimately, what does that do? It saves more lives, and the universe is going to appreciate me for that. So they'll give back to me. We'll stumble across each other one way or another. So you love fasting? Me too, man. No doubt about it. Fasting is a game changer. Absolutely. What Pokemon team am I on? I'm Valor right now on the Pokemon Go game, but again, man, Pokemon, Go isn't as cool to me as the main series stuff. The Sword and Shield stuff's coming out. Caroline, if you really want to see it, man, I may start a gaming channel. I know your sons are into retro gaming and all that stuff. Maybe he played a little Pokemon in his day, and he can hop over. Maybe I start that Pokemon YouTube streaming channel. I did buy a capture card, so maybe I'll stream a little Pokemon. Who knows? I'll be the old guy. Nobody will watch, but I always have my weight loss warriors. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are the true blue heroes of my life out here grinding. So, does OMAD improve your eyesight? I've never noticed if it does. So, I think a lot of times people do have something that it helps them that's awkward like that. But for me, no. It's like the old adage. People are always asking me, how I grew my hair back. I'm like, I'm balding, guys. Like, look at this bald spot. Y'all see that? I'm balding. I was balding when I shaved my head. I'm balding when my hair's out. You know what I mean? It's not, but people will watch my videos and say, oh, well, intermittent fasting grows your hair back. I don't know that that's true, but it does so many great things. And if it did improve your sight, amen. You're still trying to figure it out, floaters and twitching. I don't know anything about that stuff. Eyesight is not my forte, and I've never really heard anyone like Dr. Fung talking about eyesight being improved. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if it improved somebody's. Thank you, C-Dub. Thank you so much for your service and spreading the word. Janet, I'm going to try to keep spreading the word. Thank you for helping me by watching my videos. And I'm telling you guys, I know sometimes we get busy, and some of you never hit the ring bell. So you don't, you're a subscriber of my channel, but it doesn't tell you when I've posted. And understand that the more my videos you catch, the more they put out. And it's a snowball effect, and the channel is moving. I mean, boy, I'm gaining subscribers every single day. So I don't want to sleep on what we're doing here, because what we're doing is amazing. No doubt about it. But the more times you catch one of my videos, the more often YouTube will say, you know what, this guy means something, people care. And if you at the end when I'm like clicking on these videos, watch these. If you watch those videos, it shows YouTube that you're also willing to stay on my channel, which also helps out a bunch. And then if you ever click off of my channel in the sidebar and you stay on YouTube, that helps my channel too. All those things get added into the YouTube algorithm that pushes stuff out. But just like the 26 thumbs ups here, last time we were at like 50, and I had 40 plus people watching because we had more thumbs up. And it sounds cheesy, but that's really how YouTube analyzes things. And they look at the success. And although the topic that I talked about today with Dr. Fung is much more important for people to hear, it doesn't have the likes that the last one did, so not as many people will hear. And that's just the way it rolls. And we got to be able to go. Well, it's good that you're Valor. Oh, you said Valor. And that's, if you play Caroline, you can have my friend code too. I know you want to be my friend. I know you do. So, anyways, okay, yeah, they own their own store. You could go on there with Twitch. Absolutely, Caroline. Maybe me and you should have a phone conversation, or maybe your son should call me, because I think I might hop on Twitch and do Pokemon just for fun. Why not? This YouTube thing's been so amazing. Playing video games for people sounds like fun too. This is serious. What I'm doing right now is serious, real, life-changing, life-saving stuff. So playing video games online would be fun just for killing time and hanging out, but I wouldn't cross the two of them. It would be one and the other. So, yeah, hey, you watching every chance you get. Thanks, Derek. I appreciate you. You have floaters too. So I might help you with your some extension. See, I just don't know enough about the eyes and floaters and all those kind of things. I definitely think it may be something you need to go check out with the doctor. No doubt about it. What's happening, Jesse? What's up? You're running a playlist while you paint tomorrow to help out my brother. Hey, no, that hey, as cheesy as that sounds too. And she's trying to run a channel as best she can too. So head over and check her out. Amazing weight loss, OMAD Caroline. But the playlists, as cheesy as that is, that's kind of what they're there for. If you ever want to help a YouTuber out, not just me, if you love Caroline or you love Mika or you love any of these people that come through and chat with us, Randy Trucker or the Outlaw or anybody that comes in nowadays, we got John and we got Dark over there. All these people got their own channels. And if they have playlists, if you run their playlist, you don't have to listen to it. If you just hit playlist and you're busy and you set your phone down and it'll run their video after video after video after video, and YouTube eats that up. So when you're doing that, you're giving them watch time, which can allow them to eventually be monetized. And people that are monetized, you're giving them ad revenue. And so it's a win-win for supporting small YouTubers. Funny comment, I got a comment the other day. Hopefully they're watching. Somebody had said that they thought that all small YouTubers had bad content, but I had showed them that they were wrong on that bias, that I had great content. But you got to understand that all YouTubers, every last one of them started out small. Nobody starts off with 10,000 subscribers, A lot of times what it takes is the endorsement of a bigger channel. I'll give you a good example. Rachel Sharp, I don't know if any of you watch her, but Rachel Sharp had 3,000 subscribers in 4 years of doing YouTube. I almost have 3,000 in 9 months. So her channel was very small. It grew very, slowly over time. She's got 20,000 now, and Fledge Fitness put her on his channel. For whatever reason, Fledge Fitness liked her content, threw it on his channel. Now she shot up to 20,000 subscribers. She's getting 10 times the views now that she was getting a month ago. So a lot of times it just takes somebody bigger than you to bring it to people's attention. For some reason, we think if somebody doesn't have subscribers, they're not good. And that's a joke. It goes back to like the old adage in high school. It's like, if they don't have 10,000 friends around them, then I don't want them to be my friend, because, look, judge a YouTuber by what they say, what they do, their content. But the good thing is good content rises to the top. And I'm trying to bring you guys not good content. I'm trying to bring you the best content. And if I can continue to deliver the best content to my viewers, you're going to continue to watch it. It's going to continue to grow. And it is snowballing. Again, it took me months to get to 100 subscribers. And I'm only 9 months in and I'm almost at 3,000. And the numbers are going crazy right now, 500, 600 in the last month. And it's just going to go and go and go and go. And faster and faster and faster. Before we know it, this channel is going to be legit. And you guys are my OGs. You guys are the first ones here, the ones that have loved me from the beginning. I appreciate each one of you because, I can't do it without you. If you guys weren't turning up and showing up in my chats and my lives, I'd be struggling right now. So, and this wouldn't be getting anywhere. All right, let me continue on this. You started running Mika and you on the phone while you sleep. Hey, look, I appreciate it. And I'm going to do the same for you, Caroline, man. I got your back. I throw your videos on a lot while I'm at school too. I'll just play your videos and have them on mute on tab. I always watch your new videos, but I'll play your old videos and just to make sure you're getting that watch time, because I know you're trying really hard to get to 1,000 subscribers and that 4,000 watch hours. And here's an example. I know you guys don't care about the YouTube. You're here for the fasting, but it took me all the way until July to get 4,000 watch minutes. 4,000 watch minutes. It took me, so I started in January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It took me 6 months to get 4,000 watch minutes. I got 4,000 watch minutes last week. So my watch minutes are going crazy now. It's growing and growing and becoming a bigger thing. So, that's the snowball effect that I'm talking about. So you're in like this uphill fight, and eventually you get to a point where that starts to roll downhill. And I'm in that point now where I'm growing, and it's because of the support of each and every one of you. So please keep supporting me. Please keep liking my videos. Please keep sharing my videos. Please keep subscribing and telling your friends to subscribe so that I can grow. And, keep supporting the fasting community and people like Caroline, because they're amazing. So moving on down from there, you love my content. Thank you, man. I'll continue, Anonymous, to help you on your journey. You just let me know what you need. You're sending me some love from South Cali. Hey, I appreciate the love from South Cali, you know. I've never been to California. I'm going to Vegas this year, though, so I'll be close. I'm going to go to Vegas in July. I'm going to be doing a collaboration with Reg Edited there, maybe more than one collaboration. I'm probably going to film everything I eat in Vegas too, because I think it'd be interesting for you guys to see. Oh my God, he's in, the city of sin for an entire week. What did he eat? And weigh myself right before I get on the plane, and weigh myself right when I get home. I think you guys would eat that up. You can see kind of where I'm at. So again, I don't know much about the floaters. I apologize. I'll do some research, and if I find out any information on the floaters, I will get it back to you. Dr. Berg has a remedy. Dr. Berg has a remedy for a lot of things. If you guys have, I just saw one the other day. If you're having inflammation in your chest, it's coming up. I forgot what that's called right now. Oh my Lord, heartburn. He talks about how that's a gut problem and how to get rid of that with apple cider vinegar and some other stuff. Dr. Berg's got a lot of good stuff out there. If you have a medical problem, if you look it up and look up Dr. Berg with your problem, there's a chance he's going to have a solution for you. He started eating OMAD a couple of months ago. OMAD is helping with stuff. Well, hey man, if it's helping, that's awesome. Get it going. Did I move back up? Okay. I think you're awesome you're doing alternative day fasting. Alternative day fasting definitely can be powerful, no doubt about it. You're a health teacher and you're telling the adults that are looking into non-controversial ways of nutrition to check out your channel. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Derek. I think it's so important that, more and more people get an idea of what's going on and get an idea of some other ways to get it done. So I appreciate the love, man. You see, you don't consider anything normal. Guys, if you want to hit those questions, hit them. So 10 days, you appreciate that largely. Okay, you're down 10 pounds. All right, man, down to 257. How tall are you? CW, have you seen the TV show Adam Runs Everything? I have not seen that TV show, Derek. I apologize for it. I have seen that extreme weight loss show lately. I don't know if you guys saw it. And while I'm on the topic of thinking about that, The Biggest Loser announced their 2 trainers. What's really interesting about what they did with their 2 trainers this time, that guy Bob that used to be on the show is hosting it, and they have 2 new trainers. Both trainers they hired are Instagram and YouTube influencers, both of them. So that's a little bit different, that means that somewhere down the line, if they're willing to open up the doors to YouTubers, you could see somebody that's big, that's into the training, like Thomas, maybe get on a show like that. Maybe even C-Dub will be the Biggest Loser trainer one day, which I would crush it. We would totally win. I'd be like, dudes, we're not eating. We get it. But anyways, boy, would it create some controversy on television, though. And controversy we need, though. We definitely need. So, and I totally would have all my guys win the show. Y'all know that. This is the only thing that works for me. Me too, man. I think so many people, you made the live chat. Hey, good to see you, Frank. I think so many people find that that is effective. And hey, John, it helps your heartburn. That is because your gut, he did a video on it, but the acids in your gut are too strong, and so you need to put something in there like apple cider vinegar that counters it. But when you don't eat, your gut acid doesn't increase too much, and that is why OMAD has cured your heartburn. OMAD will do that, but if you still have some issues with it, a little bit of apple cider vinegar with your meal will take care of I think it's called Garns, something like that. You mix the 2 of them with a splurge day. Hey, you got to do what you got to do if it's working. 337 to 222 in 2 weeks. That's good. And don't feel like you got to rush it there, Frank. 16 and 8, and build your way to where you can consistently do OMAD. If you can get to consistent OMAD, that weight's going to continue to knock off you. Okay, 5'5". All right, keep grinding. I think you're going to get there. You're doing 16 8 sometimes too because you can't get enough calories. And I know you earlier when I called you a brother, JC, you said you were a sister. So I fully understand, especially the females. I'm telling you, sometimes like a warrior or a 16-8 is a better plan just because of the calories at one sitting. So Bob Harper and Julia should never be allowed to legally promote weight loss. They ruin dozens of people's lives? Absolutely. Well, that was one of my problems. First of all, I have a problem with them redoing The Biggest Loser in general because so many people struggled and there's so many problems. I did a video on The Biggest Loser if you want to check that out back in the day. But with that said, The Biggest Loser, um, they have uh, they've gotten away. They let Bob be the host, which bothered me a little bit too. Because whether he meant to or he didn't mean to, I just don't know that. I think he's had his time and he didn't do it right. And so now, although he's not directly involved in it, he's hosting it. Hey, it's a little bit sketchy to me too. For some reason, it says that I'm unable to my connection. It says is unstable. So let me know if the connection drops or if you guys can't see me anymore. We'll try to make an adjustment, but it's definitely saying that my connection. There we go. Hopefully, you guys didn't miss anything there. But Bob, I don't know about, and then I don't know about using Instagram, influencers too. One of them too. I don't have their name sitting here on the top off the top of my head, but one of the influencers never lost weight, and that always bothered me. That bothered me about Bob. It's like if you haven't been morbidly obese, how are you even talking to me about it? Because you haven't been through the things that I've been through. So how can you relate to me? How can you tell me how to fix it? Now, the other one, the female host on this show, not only lost 150 plus pounds, but after she lost the weight, she got diagnosed with cancer and survived that. So the woman is supposed to be a beast. She's supposed to be a total stud. So, I can respect that and I can hear what she has to say for sure. But, on the flip side, that's not a good thing. You do calorie cycles in your splurge day, you had 8,100 calories. That is a lot of weight. It's almost 3 pounds, my friend. 3 full pounds of energy. So I don't know how many days you have to fast to balance that out, but that's a lot of calories. Can be done. That's a lot of calories. I think the only reason, matter of fact, my good buddy, which, Ricky Pierce shouted him out a little bit earlier. He used to skip days of eating back before it was cool, man. I would go over to his house. He wouldn't eat for days. I'd be like, what are you doing? Then he would sit down and probably eat 10,000 calories. I'm not kidding. And he was the most fit person I'd ever been around. I mean, muscles on top of muscles, abs coming out his ears. I mean, you could see muscle definition in his ear. That guy was tough. And he didn't eat but like every third day. He ate a lot on that third day. I'm going to tell you what. He could put down more food than me, and I was morbidly obese in a sitting. Absolutely crushed me under the table. But he wouldn't eat but for days. And I'd say, well, what are you doing? And he's the one that used to always tell me, you got to eat for what you're about to do. And that's a really good theory. If you're going to hike a mountain, you have to eat more than if you're going to sit around the couch and watch TV. And so that's something that, we got to pay attention to. You got to run. All right. Peace, Caroline. Thanks for joining us today. At least that one guy did fit to fat, fat to fit. He wanted to be in his shoes for a, but you still don't really, when I saw that documentary too, and you still don't really know what they go through. You might have a little bit of a better idea, but you got to live it for a long time to really understand what a morbidly obese person goes through. It's not as easy as people want it to sound to go through the daily grind of being overweight. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. I couldn't get out of bed without losing my breath. I couldn't buckle my seatbelt in an airplane. I couldn't in a car. It had barely had any wiggle room at all. I could not wear jeans because no matter what size they were either falling off my body or pinching my fat. There was no in between. It was very hard to find a belt that fit me. I could not tie my own shoe. I absolutely, positively lost my breath going upstairs. I couldn't sleep at night. I had trouble peeing. I absolutely didn't have one thing that worked well in my entire life when I was morbidly obese. I mean, we want to say healthy at every size. We want to push a lot of different movements out there on people. But the farthest thing from healthy is what I was when I was morbidly obese. and skin tags all over my body. I mean, I can't even tell you all of the stuff that I had to go through. Sweats, yeah, jogging pants, sweatpants every single day. If I had to wear a sock, wrap your mind around this. If I had to wear a sock because I had to dress up for some reason, my wife would have had to put the sock on for me. Tell me that's not heartbreaking. Tell me that's not something that, just crushes your soul to think, yeah, I had to go through all of that. And if you've never been morbidly obese and been there for a long period of time, you don't know what that's like. You don't know what it's like to walk into a store and buy food and think people are looking at you, or go through the drive-through and think, what does the person in the drive-through window really think when I'm getting this food? And all of that kind of stuff. I had it all. You don't, guys, look, you guys know, but these people don't. When people that you love, that are close to you, that are family, and they come up to you and they're just like, they're trying to help you, and they're saying, hey, listen, I'm concerned, why don't you count calories? It's all about calories in, calories out. And they start telling you all this stuff, and you're trying and you don't understand, and they don't understand that you've tried it and it doesn't work. And they don't understand that your hormones aren't working, and that your body's saying things that's telling your mind to do things that you don't even know what's going on. And there's leptins and ghrelins and all these things that you don't even know about that are causing it. And you're starting to feel like a failure because your body doesn't do the things that other people's do. And and I'm not trying to make an excuse for people out there that are morbidly obese, but I'm just telling you that when you're on that side of it and you lose the weight, you can see clearly that there is a path for these people. And the path is not the same path that you try to give them when you've never done it. Because when your hormones are working right and you're fit, this is what you do. You're now that you're a fitness expert. You played high school sports. You played Division I something, and now you're a trainer and you've got abs and you've never been fat, and you're out here and you're looking at this guy. You're like, you're weak. You're not getting it done. You've got to get over these mental hurdles. You're a punk. And that overweight, morbidly obese person not only is in physical pain that they've never felt because they're not morbidly obese, but they don't feel good at all. They don't have the same levels of energy that other people have. And so when all of that kind of pairs together, they have not walked a mile in your shoes. And I do want to say this out there for the viewers that are watching me, that maybe, I was 125 pounds overweight and they're 200, 300 pounds overweight, and they're watching me saying, you don't know what I'm going through. And for the other people out there, that there's an expression that I love that says that I used to cry when I had no shoes till I met the man with no feet. And that is absolutely the truth. I'm not trying to undercut people that's problems are worse than mine. I mean, people are going through diabetes. People are going through all kinds of issues. One of my most loyal subscribers is in a wheelchair. There's been a lot of things that I have not dealt with. But I do want to let you know that I do know that you can fix it all by incorporating intermittent fasting into your life. And it can be fixed because you are in a hormone situation that's not right. And once you balance all that out, it will change things up. Now, let me hit back over here in the chat for a second. And you have a bunch of skin tags. John, I think I had 80 something of them removed. Think about that. When I first started fasting, I went and got 80 something of them removed. I've been growing them my whole life. And guess how many I've grown since I had the ones removed, John? That's it. 0 skin tags, brother. 0 skin tags since I started fasting. I don't think I'll grow another one. And the reason behind that is because intermittent fasting is getting rid of the junk while I'm in my fasting that wasn't being taken care of, and creating skin tags. So I think you'll get rid of the skin tags. And another reason, if you weren't already, John, 100% sold on weight loss, skin tags are a sign that you're pre-diabetic. And so think about that. Diabetes is right around the corner, when you're developing skin tags. It happens to people that are developing diabetes a lot. That doesn't mean it's the only reason why skin tags happen, but it is a reason. So keep that in mind. Get rid of those skin tags. And also, I do recommend going to see a dermatologist now that you're fasting and just get them removed. So I do not smoke. I do not drink. I did do a lot of drinking when I was young. I stopped right when I hung out with my boy Rick. We used to hang out and do a lot of drinking together. And then I met my wife and kind of started getting into the marriage thing and just didn't see the appeal to it anymore. So I don't really drink. I have not drunk. I haven't been drunk since my youngest son, was less than one. I went to a wedding. I'm not sure that I've drank at Vegas a couple of times while gambling because it was free. But not since I fasted. I haven't touched a bit of alcohol since I started fasting. And I smoked a little bit when I was young, but not, I haven't smoked since I was 16. So no smoking and stinking now. You have a skin tag necklace, man. Just get the fasting rolling. When you're comfortable fasting, go ahead and have them removed, man. They won't come back. It's amazing. It really is. You get them everywhere. I used to get the skin tags like crazy too, man. I'm telling you, I did the tag away. It didn't work. I did all that. The great thing is dermatologists took care of all of them, and it was very little to no pain. So dermatologists can handle your skin tag issues 100%, guys. All right, I'm going to probably hang on for about another 10 comments now. If you would like to answer a question, if you haven't done it, hit that thumbs up, guys. Got about another 10 minutes in me. I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm getting ready to do recordings. I have not recorded Fridays, Saturday's video, or Mondays. So I have some ideas written down. Somebody just gave me an idea today. But if you have a video that you really want me to record that you think, would be good for the viewers, question, whatever it is, something to address, definitely leave me a comment after I publish this video on what that topic is so I can look back and look at it, or send me an Instagram message. People that know, I try to get back to you quickly on Instagram. So, and then you can tweet me a message too. Doesn't really matter, but I am going to be hitting some nice videos for you guys. I'll have one coming out Friday. I'll have one coming out Saturday. I'll have one coming out Monday, Tuesday of next week, and then I'll be hitting live again. So pretty much no video tomorrow, no video Sunday, but every other day I'm going to be hitting you with some good videos. Got another big live coming. Didn't promote this one as much as I should have, and I think kind of came up a little bit in the views. But ultimately speaking, hopefully on the repeat, a lot of people will hop on here and watch this, and we'll, be able to get this video a little bit more traction. But regardless of whether that happens or not, we're going to hit it strong this next week. And I'm going to have some good content for you guys. And hopefully the numbers keep rolling up in the right direction. I appreciate all of you. So I heard they might fall off. I heard the same thing, John. I can't confirm whether they will or they won't because I got them removed. I had an appointment scheduled with my dermatologist before I started fasting. I did it like maybe 5 months, and then I started fasting ahead of time, like a month before. So when I went in there on OMAD, I'll tell you that, and I hadn't eaten, and she's burnt. They literally clip them and burn you. It's really weird, but you don't really feel it. I actually think they numb you actually too. So they numb you, they clip it, they burn it. It's weird, but it hurts maybe a little the next, a couple hours later, but it was pretty good, and it got done super quick, and it was a very good decision because a day later I felt better, and I never dealt with skin tags since then, and that's absolutely amazing. So, but yeah, no, the skin tag, saggy skin also may be able to be healed. Don't 100% know if that's facts. I think it helps. Fasting helps, but I don't know that it heals. Genetics is going to play a lot on whether you get loose skin or not. There's just no doubt about that. But it could help out a little bit, and it certainly either I got good genetics or helped me a little bit for sure, because it could have been a lot worse. Also wanted to mention again that I was thinking about doing it. You guys can let me know your thoughts, but I have a video of when I was overweight, and I'm telling you about what I'm about to do. I was probably 25 pounds lost. I take my shirt off in the video, and I do a lot of talking, and I wanted to have like clips of that and then talk today about that and where I was at then and where I'm at now, and kind of do a contrast of it. And you'll be able to up close in your face see, overweight C-Dub now, C-Dub, and then I can put pictures before, and after, and really do a nice, I'm going to work on that for about a week or so. Really do like a nice thing so that that I have walked in your shoes. I have done it, and that's a big step in the right direction. Am I on any medications at all? I'm on this many. Boom. The last medication that I was taking was Percocet, and I was taking Percocet, but I haven't taken Percocet in 7, 8 months since wrestling season last year. Wrestling season starts in November. Sometimes when I'm coaching all day, my knee will start to bother me, so I would take a Percocet, but I have not. I do not have a prescription for anything, and I have not been on medicine forever. I haven't even been sick in over a year. I mean, really sick. I have a couple of days when I don't feel perfect, but like lay in bed, knock out, drag out, need to go to a doctor and get medicine sick, hadn't happened in over a year since I started fasting, really. Good stuff. Thanks, Derek. Everybody's a fan of the wife. Love you, Michelle. All right, you look better now than you did with 84 pounds in 20 years. 20 pounds have gone. Fasting does cure causes autophagy. Absolutely, fasting causes autophagy. I never argued that. What I said was that it does not necessarily fix all loose skin. Autophagy and loose skin are two different things. Autophagy is the recycling of cells, which can be skin cells, but it's not guaranteed to be skin cells, and your genetics are going to play a lot into that. Autophagy takes any bad cells and recycles them. It could be anything at all. And sometimes it doesn't just recycle them, sometimes it repairs them. So it can help, but there has never really been a full scientific study to show whether it can reverse it. And there are some people that have done long-term fasting that do have loose skin. I'm sure they would be offended that, we would say that it just absolutely does. I think it can help, but I think loose skin is the least of your worries. I think getting healthy is the number one worry, and we should all get that done. You know what? My wife should start her own channel on the Warrior Diet. Actually, as crazy as this sounds, my wife is big yoga, so we may start a yoga channel with her. I think it would be really cool for the weight loss warriors too that want to do some yoga, do yoga with my wife once a week, twice a week, or something like that. So, she does yoga, teaches yoga, is all about yoga. So we could do a yoga channel, but it would be a while. She's under contract right now for about another like 9-ish months where she can't teach yoga, but for one company. So she's going to continue to teach yoga for them. But 9 months from now, the Weight Loss Warriors, our subscriber count will be up. Maybe she can have a side one and you guys can head over there and do yoga with the wife. I think it would be amazing to have a yoga, bam, sit down, do yoga, Yeah, there you go, MW Yoga. That's what I'm talking about. John, you'd subscribe, right? And go check that out. So 9 months from now, look out for the wife's yoga channel. She's also clutch at doing nails. And if you guys ever want to try some Color Street nails, send me an Instagram message with your address, and my wife will send you a free sample. Color Street is like kind of like you put the nails on. She can tell you more about it in the chat, but she's fantastic at that. She's painted an amazing nail artist. Go to my Facebook page and find her Facebook page. You can check out all her nail art. She's amazing, but the yoga can come. So anyways, you said you're not going to do anything, too much weight to lose. You got older 2 kids. Yeah, no doubt. 2 kids is definitely something that, yeah. DB, would you watch her yoga channel? Hopefully you would. I think the house can use, I was going to use one YouTube channel. That may be true too. You know what I'm saying? YouTube's a lot of work. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Your wife sells those too. Really, John? Wow, that's amazing. Your wife and my wife should hook up. They should have some conversations. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this thing up. First, for the 25 of you that are still here, man, I love you guys. And for all you that watched before, that are watching the replay, I love you guys too. I appreciate all the support. If you're watching it on the replay and you made it that far, make sure you hit the like button, guys, so that we can get this video out in front of more people, to help more people. I got several videos coming up in the next week and another live next Wednesday. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I appreciate all of you. Hopefully we learned something about Dr. Fung and in the medical industry and kind of where that's going. I thought that was a really good talk earlier today. And I'm going to try and link that tonight so that tomorrow morning you guys have that information in front of you and you can make sure you check that video out because it is totally worth your time to sit down and hear Dr. Fung's thoughts on big pharmacy. And that's about it for you guys today. So I appreciate all of you. If you got a question next Wednesday, make sure you hit me up on Instagram. And if you need it before Wednesday, go ahead and drop it and say, hey, could you get this message to me a little bit faster? And I would appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and they won't let my wife show her email address. So there you go. Bam. My wife's email address if you need to get a hold of her. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are my dogs. Love you guys. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Make sure if you haven't done so already, you know my face is going to pop up on the replay right here. Boom, look at that circle. Nice, handsome mug. Click on it and subscribe. I'm going to have other videos popping up. Make sure you watch those videos because the more of those videos you watch, the more people find out about C-Dub and his mission. I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.